our, our first meeting, we did not record, so because I forgot. So I will welcome everybody once again to Notary Masters. This is our charter ceremony. This is we only have one of these in our history of our club, and this is a pretty cool day today. Our club started about a year ago, and I would say our first meeting was in October of 21. Some of the people that were involved in that are here. We're going to meet Jim here in a minute. He was our Toastmaster for that first meeting. And so at this point, I'm going to turn the meeting over for introductions, and we will let our president, Dennis LaRue, open the meeting.
Thank you, Daniel. And I see it is half past the hour here. And so I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Notary Masters Toastmasters Club. And we thank you all for attending. And we do have the Zoom master, and the recording is on. So I'd like to introduce and say hi to all the guests, but time doesn't necessarily allow us to do that right now. So would like to welcome you and glad you're in attendance here. We do have a mission, and the mission statement is we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. So with that, and without delay of our ceremonies and festivities for today, let me introduce the Toastmaster, Jim Robinson.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Daniel. Welcome everyone to this charter ceremony of Notary Masters. And I believe, Daniel, I believe you have a PowerPoint presentation you want to share with us. And this will be an opportunity for us to recognize all of the people who took part in chartering this club, all those charter members and people who stuck with Daniel for getting it organized, getting it pulled together. And I know that Daniel put a lot of work into this, and very proud to see how many people have been participating, not only as charter members, but participating as guests during the other meetings and just showing up when there are speakers that they want to hear. But we've had a very good turnout for this club. This is a great model for us to look at for other opportunities in Toastmasters. It's a way for us to bring together people who are in an industry type that they don't necessarily work together all the time, but they're in the same type of business and want to be able to collaborate and connect and help each other with their presentation. I believe we will start off with presenting the charter to the sponsor and the president. Now, Daniel, do you have or Eldred, perhaps? Eldred has the charter.
It's on a slide. I'll bring it up in a minute.
Okay, on a slide. All right. And normally if we were meeting together in person, we would have a physical charter that we could show and hand over. But since we're on, what we'll do is we'll show that charter and we'll get everyone together on that. Now, the chartering of the club means that this club is dedicated to working through Toastmasters programs and working on improving everyone's leadership and communication skills. So, Eldred, do you have some words of presentation for us on the charter?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Jim. I want to congratulate you all, Notary Masters, for getting your club chartered as a new Toastmasters club and for joining the Toastmasters family. It's always exciting, both for the club and for their host district, to welcome the new club into the Toastmasters organization and celebrate this momentous occasion of your first day. Well, not exactly the first day, since you'd had a few meetings before this, but the official first day of your service to your members, helping develop stronger, more confident communicators and leaders. And to see that you are committed to doing so is exciting, both for you and for our district. And once again, congratulations on this grand occasion.
Next, we'll be having a introduction of those charter members. And Daniel, I'd really like to have you lead this introduction and let us know who the people are, and maybe you can, even as you introduce them, if you wanted to add any mention about their involvement. And so let's welcome Daniel Brewer to give us an introduction of the charter members.
Thank you very much. And actually, the role of this, typically, I did a lot of research on these charter ceremonies, goes to the area director. So it just very coincidentally that that happens to, at least for 2 more weeks, happens to be me. So we're going to go ahead. And what I'd like to do is, as we now, these are people that had joined the club since we started, and this was back in last October, through our charter and actually through today. As I call your name, I would like you to please raise your Zoom hand, and because it brings you up to the top of the screen, and then that way I'd like to take a picture when we're all done. But I would recognize you, and I've got you listed alphabetically. So, and if I trash your names, I really apologize. I am trying to learn how to pronounce them all. So here are the charter members for Notary Masters Toastmasters Club. Pam Adame, Glendale, California. Israel Ahuya, Bloomington, Illinois. Gloria Barajas Holt, Gardenia, California. Laverne Bentz, Jennings, Florida. Tabitha Bonetti Asker, Santa Rosa, California. Daniel Brewer, Beaverton, Oregon. Jeff Clark, Antioch, California. Melissa Dominguez, Oxnard, California. Mark Fleming, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Sherry Garland, Stockton, California. LaDonna Hightower, Los Angeles, California. Rosa Hernandez, Seattle, Washington. John Holder, Danceburg, Kentucky. Sheila Houston, Vauxhall, New Jersey. Mike Howard, Chandler, Arizona. Patricia Langford, Gardenia, California. Dennis LaRue, Clearwater, Florida. Andrea Pate, Las Vegas, Nevada. Ana Pinata, Miami, Florida. Mary Phibbs, Puyallup, Washington. Valerie Preston, Harbor City, California. Julie Rombach, Park Ridge, Illinois. India Scruggs, Nashville, Tennessee. Bill Soroka, Phoenix, Arizona. Bernice Williams, Paramount, California. Delcy Winters, Elmont, New York. Now, these are our charter members. Since we've chartered, we have gained 2 new members. Pam Alziot, I hope I just didn't butcher that name. Salem, Oregon. Jen Neitzel, Coppell, Texas. These are our charter members. And what I need to do here is read the pledge here. I need to stop. Keep your hands up for a second. I need to stop sharing for a second. I will come back. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a quick screenshot if I may be so kind. So everybody, 1, 2, 3. Oh, didn't get it. Oh, we're frozen here. It's not a good screenshot. Let's start over. Let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right. Got it. All right. And I would also like to go back and I need to read something here. So let me go find where I need to be when I can't minimize that. Pardon me for a minute. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is recite the Toastmasters promise. And I will go ahead and do that. So this is for all of our members. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability and basing them on Toastmasters education program, to prepare fully and fulfill meeting assignments, and to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations. Help the club maintain a positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow. To serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so. To treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy. I agree to these terms as Toastmasters promise and the members agreement. Fellow Toastmasters, if you agree to this, please unmute and say, I will.
I will.
I will.
I will. I will.
I will.
I will.
I will.
I will. I will. I will too. And with that, I welcome you all to the family of Toastmasters.
Yay.
And I will reshare.
Wonderful.
I think I will reshare. How am I going to do that? Share screen again. And that takes us to the tip of the day. And I'm just going to go ahead and run with this because I didn't have a volunteer and I have a really good short one for today. So Jim, with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and continue. Our tip of the day today is very simply to do what you guys are doing right now, which is keep learning. Whatever it is you do, whether it's being a notary or being a teacher or whatever it is that you like to do, find ways to make it fun to keep on learning. We have so many opportunities here. I know many of you are part of the Notary Business Builder. I know that we've got Notary Stars. We've got all these notary programs out there. Some of you guys are attending business schools. I know that there's all these different ideas. And if you can't afford that, guess what? We have something called YouTube and the internet. And there's so much free stuff out there to learn how to, so that we're really good at what we do. I just saw a masterclass. I've subscribed to that this year. And I saw Steve Martin was talking to somebody about comedy writing. And this guy had, one of these guys he was talking to had all these ideas. And he said, look, just learn how to be good at what you do, whatever it is. So my tip of the day is not magic here. It's simply take the opportunities. I've now set aside an hour a day. I don't know how I'm finding it, but to learn something. And that may be to go through go through all the stuff we have in Notary Business Builder, or maybe a Notary Stars video, or find a video on YouTube I haven't seen before. Through all that, I tell you what, there's more video been shot than all the episodes of Law and Order, every franchise combined. I mean, there is so much out there. So my tip of the day, simply learn and keep learning. And one way to keep learning is twice a month, hang out with us on Thursday mornings, because we're going to help you out as well. Mr. Toastmaster.
All right, thank you, Daniel. And that's a good thought about how to keep learning and be the best at what you do. Now, at this time, I'd like to ask our Program Quality Director for District 7, Lori Anderson, to help us with the installation of officers. And Lori, if you have any other additional comments that you would like to add for the charter ceremony. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I really appreciate this opportunity to be here today to install the officers of this club. I am here to install the officers of Notary Masters and to prepare them for the challenges that lie ahead. Their collective challenge is to make this club strong, dedicated to helping people from all walks of life to speak in an effective manner, listen with sensitivity, and to think creatively. Sergeant at Arms, Patricia Langford, are you present?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. In addition to tracking the club's physical property, the Sergeant of Arms also has a role to play during business meetings, speech contests, and other special club events. For example, the Sergeant of Arms greets potential new members outside the club's meetings place while the members vote on admitting them to the club. Patricia, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Say, I will. Thank you. Treasurer Mary Phibbs, are you present? You are the club's accountant. You manage the club's bank account while writing checks as approved by the executive committee and depositing membership dues payments and other club revenues. You are also in charge of submitting membership dues payments to World Headquarters, accompanied by the names of the renewing members, filling necessary tax documents, and keeping timely, accurate, up-to-date financial records for the club. Though the treasurer's duties are usually not the most demanding of the club leadership position, the consequences for members can be serious when they are not completely accurate and accurately completed and on time. Mary, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Secretary Tabitha Bonatti Asker, are you present?
I am.
You maintain the club records, manage club files, handle club correspondence, and make the minutes of each club officers and executive committee meeting. You are also in charge of updating and distributing a roster of the current paid membership and keeping the club officer list current for Toastmasters International. Though some clubs combine the secretary role with the treasurer, it is best to have a dedicated secretary who can help reduce the workload of the treasurer and occasionally assist the vice president of education as well. Tabitha, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Vice President Public Relations, Jeff Clark, are you present?
I did not see Jeff here, so he will.
Vice President Membership, Andrea Pate, are you present?
I am.
You promote the club and manage the process of bringing in guests and transforming them into members. By initiating contact with guests, helping them feel welcome, and providing them with the information they need to join, you help maintain a constant influx of new people into your club. You also attentively monitor membership levels and strategize with the rest of the executive committee about how to overcome membership challenges when they occur. Andrea, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Vice President of Education, Daniel Brewer, are you present?
I am.
As Vice President of Education, you schedule members' speeches, verify the completion of projects, and serve as a resource for questions about the educational program, speech contests, and your club mentor program. You are an important source of Toastmasters knowledge for club members, and it is your job to become familiar with all aspects of the Toastmasters educational program. Daniel, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
President Dennis LaRue, are you present?
I am.
Dennis, you are the Chief Executive Officer and are expected to preside at all club meetings and at all regular and special meetings of your executive committee. It is your challenge to see that this club enables its members to achieve their educational goals. It is also your challenge to see that your club helps the area, division, district, and Toastmasters International meet their goals. Please accept the gavel as a symbol of your leadership and dedication to office. The gavel is a symbol of the power and authority given to you by the membership of this club. Use it wisely and with restraint. You are a member of your team as well as a leader. A team is more than a collection of people. It is an emotional force rooted in the feelings, thoughts, and actions of all members with a common goal of achievement, sharing, and mutual support. Work with your team members to create a healthy, dynamic club, a club of which everyone is proud. Dennis, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Mr. President, would you please offer a few thoughts as the new Toastmaster year begins?
Thank you. You know, most of the charter members have had the privilege of participating and observing in the growth of the Notary Masters Toastmasters organization. Now, finally, we are officially chartered. From its first meetings back in October to today's official indoctrination ceremony, it has been a privilege and honor to work with the members, but really more than that, to get to know some of the members. It will continue to be a privilege and honor for me, especially, to work alongside them as we set our course and serve our newly chartered Notary Masters Toastmasters this coming year. It has been interesting to watch and participate in the growth of this club. The support, enthusiasm, leadership have played a crucial part in getting this club chartered. Additionally, this club would not be here today if it were not for Daniel Brewer. His ideas and dream to have a Toastmaster club via Zoom specifically dedicated to serving notaries. He has been a Toastmaster for 9 years and recently earned his Distinguished Toastmasters Award, and his persistence and patient efforts, dedication, guidance, and mentorship has brought this club to its fruition. He wasn't without help. There's a lot of persons that I'm not sure that I would know to call out by name, but I know they helped, and they also have brought this membership club to its fruition. Now that we are officially chartered and officers duly sworn in place, we can help lighten their load a bit by performing our responsibilities and duties. Their mentorship, though, is welcomed, and it's a process that makes our job easier, both before we were chartered and now that we are chartered. This is a unique Toastmasters club. The club is first of its kind. Most clubs gather to meet in person in a local community. Some larger corporations have their own internal clubs. But a uniqueness we possess is that, one, you must be a notary, And two, we meet via Zoom. And those members are from all over the country. I believe this is the first of its kind for a Toastmasters club. And to have a dedicated meeting via Zoom. The Toastmasters proven system of success and main objective of supporting a positive learning experience to develop communication, leadership skills, greater self-confidence and personal growth hasn't changed. That remains the primary focus. It helps us as notaries to develop our skills, to learn how to be in control of our setting and to be stronger at handling some of those tough conversations with signing services or title companies and signers themselves. Also, we can show confidence in our signers that we are knowledgeable, confident, and accurate, and have their best interests at our forefront. Another benefit is to help with developing better writing skills, increasing vocabulary, and stimulating creativity. All useful when we're writing blogs, posts, updating web pages, and general correspondence with emails and letters. It allows for tremendous networking opportunities between notaries to share best practices. In addition, these skills will not only be evident in our notary practice, but will also be evident to the family, friends, and our communities as well. In closing, our duties and responsibilities as notaries of Notary Masters Toastmasters has officially begun. And we look forward to serving our fellow Notary Masters Toastmasters members, helping them to achieve their educational goals and aspirations in Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President-elect. Fellow Toastmasters and newly elected club officers, I'd like to present to you our next incoming club officer team. Let's give all of our officers another round of applause. Congratulations, and we look forward to a wonderful year, getting to know all of you and helping you meet your individual goals. So I would like to return control back to our Toastmaster, Jim Robeson.
All right, thank you, Lori. And thank you, Dennis. It looks like you have a great team of officers here to work with the club as you move forward and build. Now, this group of officers also have the opportunity to call on 2 mentors who will work with the club during the first 6 months to help ensure that they have all of the tasks, all of the items that they need to be on top of, so that they know what they're able to do in getting the club going. Because oftentimes a newly chartered club has officers who have not served in those positions before. And so the mentors help to ensure that those officers are able to get the training and get the support that they need. We have 2 mentors, and Eldred will help us with an introduction of the mentors and swearing in of the mentors. Eldred, could you lead us away?
All right, thank you, Jim. And I understand that the club's 2 mentors are Daniel Brewer and Valerie Preston, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
All right. So your task as mentors will be to work with the Notary Masters Club through their first 6 to 12 months to show them how to be effective Toastmasters, how to be an effective Toastmasters club, to run effective club meetings, effective club officer meetings, to get the club focused in the right direction and learning how to be a Toastmasters club.
Something with the Wi-Fi here. I don't know. Oh, fudge.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was interrupted, so I just
That's
wanted.
fine. Thank you.
Okay, so Daniel and Valerie, do you promise to work diligently as mentors for the Notary Masters Club for the first 6 to 12 months to do everything that I have described as the role of the mentor? If so, say, I will.
I will.
I will.
All right. Well, congratulations on being appointed to serve as mentors for the Notary Masters Club. I now turn meeting back over to
Thank you, Eldred. Yeah, I think Eldred froze up for a second at the end there. But thank you. And welcome our mentors. Now for the next portion of this meeting, we're going to have a round of table topics. And we have our program quality director, Lori Anderson, will be welcome back to lead us in this table topic session. So let's welcome Lori.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I'm going to put my view in gallery view so I can see everyone. I would like to call upon the people that have not had the opportunity to speak yet today, but would like to. So I'm going to ask for a raise of maybe 4 to 5 hands if you would like to speak in a table topic. I would call upon you. I don't know your names. The only people I really know are my team, Valerie, Preston, and Daniel. So you'll have to help me out here just a teeny bit.
Melissa has her hand up. Melissa
All right,
Dominguez
Melissa.
from California.
Good morning, everybody. Toastmasters and
Wonderful. Thank you, Melissa.
hi. Okay, go ahead.
Table topics are designed to help people think quickly on their feet,
Okay.
extemporaneously. So for 1 to 2 minutes, and do we have our timer today?
We do not. I will time them.
All
Do we
right.
have a word of the day today?
We do not. Today we're freewheeling today. So
Okay, free willing.
she'll give you a question here in a minute.
Do you have your color backgrounds, Daniel, as our timer?
I'm not worried about it. We're just going to go ahead and go today.
Okay, so for 1 to 2 minutes, because that's about the time that we have. That's the usual time for table topics. What is the best signing you have ever had? Melissa, what is the best signing you have ever had?
Well, so far I've been really blessed and lucky. I've had very good signings. Sorry, there's a helicopter. I've had very good signings. Let's see, the most, I had a reverse mortgage signing and it was a 90-year-old man, and we went in, we started doing it, and the first couple of forms, he said, oh, I don't know if I can do this because my hand is already stopping. And then we kind of just said, well, let's give ourselves strength. So he said, okay, I'm going to do it. And I just kept encouraging him, and he did it. He went through it all, and he had to sign as trustee and everything. So I think that was the best one. And we got through it, and he was just really a strong person. I guess that would be it for me. I know it's not long enough, but
That's good. That's great. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing that. Tom, I see you. Tam, I see that you have your hand up. Within the next, would you like to speak, Tam?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I think one of the best signings I had was a married couple who with 5 children who were buying their first home. And so I took the first paperwork to them, and, I gave them the time they needed because it's a big thing. And I really enjoyed them. And when it came time for the second paperwork, they specifically asked for me because they just felt comfortable and wanted me there for the final paperwork. So I think it was very rewarding to be a part of that process and celebrate with them. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'll remind everybody, Lori has many questions, so she's going to pick another question for the next person. So
Right.
the idea is to pick get a question you haven't heard yet. So, and it looks like Mike Howard is next up.
Great, thank you. Mike, I've got a question just for you. You are a first-time Toastmaster. Tell us about your goals for the next 12 months. What do you expect to receive out of Toastmasters?
So, public speaking is not anything that I enjoy. And as I used to tell my students in the classroom, people would rather die than speak in public because the number one fear is public speaking. So my goal over the course of this next year is to enhance my speaking ability so that when I am in front of others, I am not filled with fear, dread, and trepidation, and that I am able to eliminate verbal pauses from my speaking. I do have a history of stuttering slightly, and that is something that I desire to work on to eliminate from my speaking and to develop friendships with those that are in this club, because being a notary, oftentimes we're on our own and it can be a little bit lonely at times. So I would say those are my 3 goals for this coming year at Toastmasters.
Thank you, Mike. I've been in Toastmasters for over 10 years and I'm still working on those things. So it's a never-ending journey. We continue to learn. See, Shirley Stewart Tibbs, would you like to speak?
I would.
All right. Tell us about your goals in Toastmasters this coming year.
Thank you, Lori, for the opportunity. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. My goal for the upcoming year is to continue to advance in public speaking techniques, as well as to be able to put forth my ideas in a clear and concise manner while maintaining poise and confidence. I sometimes, no, not sometimes, most times before I speak, I have a series of butterflies that are flying around in my stomach and in my psyche, but once I open my mouth, those tend to dissipate. I thoroughly enjoy speaking, and I've been a Toastmaster before, so I'm looking forward to becoming an integral part of this Toastmasters Club. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Shirley. Wonderful. So we have 2 people with their hands raised. Do we have enough time for 2 more questions, Mr. Toastmaster?
Daniel, I think we probably do have enough time. If you could correct me if I'm.
Hey, let's just we'll do Bernice and then Vern, and then that'll be good.
All right, great. Bernice, for those of us, which is probably only a handful of people that do not really know a notary business, can you tell us your job as a notary signing agent?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. Thank you for giving me a question that no one has answered yet. Thank you for asking me to describe my job. And here it goes. As a notary signing agent, my responsibilities include obtaining signatures on documents that are created for the purposes of a signing agent, for the purposes of purchasing or selling a home. So presenting the documents to the prospective borrowers, having them sign and initial where needed, and or notarizing the documents, verifying the identification of the individuals to ensure that there is no fraud that is taking place. And oftentimes I find that I am also easing the nerves of the individuals that are signing, because we are often the last person are the only person, excuse me, that they may see during that process. And so they look to us as notaries, as the individuals that are not knowledgeable about the documents. Sometimes we don't even know, but they are looking to us for direction. And our goal is, and what I tell my clients when I'm presenting documents is, my purpose is to answer the what and the where on the documents. And if you ask me why, I'll tell you, I don't know, but we'll help find out. And so that's what I feel are the roles of a loan signing agent.
Thank you
That's
very
really good.
much. I had a notary signing, well, it was before Daniel started his process in the first summer of COVID. And I didn't realize it, but I probably was going to, the man came with a stack of papers, probably 100 documents I signed. I was standing outside in my slippers thinking it was going to be fast. I'm working from home, right? Okay, so I didn't realize what the job was of a notary master agent.
Lori, we get that a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I suppose you do. Laverne Wolf Fence, you have your hand raised.
Yes, thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Okay.
Fellow
So-
Toastmasters and honored Toastmasters, I thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, ma'am.
No, go ahead. I think you probably had a thought in mind of what to say. I was going to ask you what your goals are this year. Doesn't have to be Toastmasters, but perhaps you've got some plans for the summer. What are your goals this year?
My goals this year to support the Notary Masters Club as much as possible. I have lifted into university, studying business management. I run a very successful mobile notary service here in Northern Florida and Southern Georgia. I've been commissioned for a few years because of the pandemic. And as such, I find myself in a very peculiar position where I now have 6 agents working with me. We cover 20 counties in 2 states. So as my network grows, I start to integrate these other agents into the Toastmasters to help build their confidence as they are new notaries. My goal is to help Daniel and Mr. LaRue as much as possible as a Toastmaster and Notary Master. And I thank them for the honor of allowing me to be a member of the club.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate this opportunity to be your table topic master. I will return control back to our Toastmaster, Jim.
All right, thank you, Lori. And thank you everyone for participating today. My brother told me when I asked him many decades ago, I asked him about being a notary public, and because he was signed up as he was a notary public, and I asked him about it, and he said, well, just basically being a notary public means that you're certifiably honest. So I think we have a great group of honest people here participating in this club. And I think we can depend on the people in this club to do what they say they're going to do to help make sure this club succeeds. And we have a great set of officers. Dennis as incoming president, as president, not just incoming, but as president. I think you have a group of certifiably honest people here to commit to the future of this club. So let's welcome back Club President Dennis for closing remarks. Welcome, Dennis.
Mr. Toastmaster, we have one more thing to do.
Oh,
Before
sorry.
Dennis takes over, I'd like to do one more thing. We're going to go ahead and present the club banner here. And if possible, I would love to have Mike Howard, Mary Phibbs, Tabitha Bonetti Asker, Dennis LaRue, and Andrea Pate. Raise your hands and step forward for a second. We have one more important thing to do. You know, I asked the 5, they didn't know that I was asking them this. In fact, some of them thought I was blindsiding them, but the fact of the matter is at the end of the ceremony, you usually have a process where you unroll the banner and we hang it up. The banner kind of hangs at every meeting. And if you ever go to a convention or a contest or something, each club that's represented has a banner. Well, we're online. Apparently Toastmasters does have an online banner. but they never sent it to me as many times as I requested. So we have kind of one we're going to use today. So I would like to have the 5 of you do, if possible, is come off mute for just a second and give me a 3, 2, 1, go, and we will unroll our banner. So are you ready? 3,
3, 2, 1, go.
Ew.
So I'm going to make this GIF, I'm going to turn it into a JPEG and make it available on our website. And if people would like to use it as a background during meetings or just have it around, we will be attending contests and so forth, probably online when they happen online. They're still online for a while. And Lori and Eldred and Jim will kind of let me know. I think they're going to be online for at least the next year. So we'll be able to have this banner, and this will be our identity for a while. So welcome, Toastmasters. And now my son loves it too. And now I will turn it over to Toastmaster for the final parts of this.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. And once the toast.
Jim, we have one more thing after this. We have one more agenda item. I forgot. We have Dear Notary Masters. Mary's going to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, great. I was just going to mention that once the Toastmasters International store gets back online, which Toastmasters International has been going through a lot of upgrades on their website, but once they're back online, we'll be able to get you the official Toastmasters electronic banner. And now Mary Phibbs with the Dear Notary Masters second. Welcome, Mary.
Mary, I just, no, thank you.
Thank you. Dear Notary Masters, how do you handle it when you read your handbook and you find it vague? For instance, in Washington State, we don't all agree after reading the handbook whether we can charge per signature or per stamp when notarizing.
I have an answer to that if you'd like me at least try. I'm a Washington notary as well. I don't use a lot in Washington, but I will tell you, Washington is weird in the fact that they administer their notary commission through one agency, and they administer their notary rules through another agency. Most of us, like in Oregon, everything goes through Secretary of State. In Washington, the notary commission part's handled by the Bureau of Licensing. They are great. You can get a phone call to them and they will be able to answer most of your stuff. The problem is this question falls under the Secretary of State, which is in Olympia, and in Washington, you can't get a phone call return from them in weeks. I mean, they're not easy to work with. But I go to the source. This is an email to Lori Beaver for me, or I bring it up during TNT. In most states, I mean, the answer is, of course, the answer to most of our questions, which is, what does your state say? But in most states, it is per signature. If we have 2 people on a power of attorney, and then you get to charge for both of them. But some states, I know it does say per endorsement. So you check your state, and as you said, your state guidelines are vague. If the state's guidelines are vague, I cannot imagine any other resource but your Secretary of State's office. And so that would be my answer, is to go to them. India, you have your hand up?
Good morning, Toastmasters. So Mary, to answer your question from my perspective, much like what Daniel just mentioned, with there being multiple government agencies that somewhat govern notary work in Tennessee. I'm in Tennessee, by the way. So our Secretary of State has proven for me to be not very resourceful. In fact, there have been a few times where I've contacted the Secretary of State and have been asked, did you contact the NNA? And strangely, I looked at the phone like, but you're my Secretary of State. So what I do if there is something vague, in addition to texting Laura or Bill or someone else who has been in the industry a little bit longer, I will also go by best practice, and those will be things that I've heard discussed from one of the experts, someone that I consider an expert, or something that I've utilized in the past, where maybe I've contacted the signing service or contacted the title company and they gave me a particular response. If I feel that that situation fits, where it's not so subjective, excuse my dog, where it's not so subjective, then I will just apply what I learned from the previous incident. So that to me is using best practice. And sometimes I will contact the NNA if it's just beyond something that I've never encountered before.
And we'll go with Dennis and then Mike. Dennis, did you have your
Oh.
hand up, or is your hand just not up? Just
Yeah,
try to take it
sorry.
down.
Hand just not up.
Okay, great enough. Okay, Mike.
So, Dennis, in regard to all those, or Mary, in regard to all those answers, I would do that. The only thing that I would add is that I have a Legal Shield membership. So probably one thing I could do is take a copy of those laws that I view as vague, and I can send it to my lawyer and get their legal opinion. That's the only thing that I would add.
And I do believe the Legal Shield lawyers are in fact local, so they would know your
Yes,
local.
sir.
Excellent. That was very helpful. Lots of good insights there.
Okay, back to Toastmaster. Thank you, Mary.
All right, thank you, Daniel. And so I believe now at this point we've completed the agenda, and I can introduce the club president, Dennis, for his final remarks and wrap up of the session. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. And also thank you, everybody, for your participation. It's really been great. I do want to ask this of the VP of Education for major roles for our next meeting. Daniel, do we want to do that now?
I appreciate that. And I want to also point a couple things out. I'm going to unshare this screen for a minute, and I'm going to share a different screen, if I may be so bold. And I want to get on the Notary Masters website here. And I will share again. I want to do two things here. First of all, I'm going to share. Where is it? There we go. Notary Masters. Share. Very good. Okay, first of all, if anybody is curious here as to how to join our club, if you're not a member yet, if you'll just go to notarymasters.org, you can go here where it says Join Notary Masters right here at the bottom. And we have the instructions on how to join, how to get your application, what to put in the application, and how to send the money in. We still don't have our EIN yet from Toastmasters. Jim has told me that part of that is being held up by all this website stuff. So, and I think it all kind of goes together, so it doesn't really surprise me. We should be getting that, Mary, any day, so that then we can set up our banking and so forth. But this is how we're taking our due. So if you want to join, and always you can contact me at this email address, and I'm able to help you. I'm going to go to the members only section for those of us that are members and click on meeting agendas. And our next meeting is going to be on not June 16th, but we're going to flip this down to July 7th. And I am going to edit. I get special privileges because I'm special. And we're going to go to agenda items. We're right here. Well, we know that Dennis is going to be the presiding officer, so I'm going to put him there. And I think I saw Laverne signed up for a role. somebody needs to, there we go. Okay. And I guess not. I thought I saw his name. Yep. Oh, Laverne's going to be a speaker. Great. So we're going to have Vern's going to be a speaker. So that's excellent that we have speakers. Will anybody want to, we're going to be back to our old agenda. You'll notice our new agenda for the new year, speaker number 3. So we're going to be able to have 3 speakers. I talked to Jim and to Lori, and typically if you meet every week, you have 2 speakers. If you meet twice a month, you have 3 speakers. And if you meet once a month, you have 4 speakers. So, and we meet for an hour and 15 minutes, which is what we meet for. So all these roles here are open. I have already put together a theme, which will be community. So I can be the Toastmaster this time if I don't have to speak. I do have a speech ready to deliver because I always seem to have one. So if we need me to be a speaker, I will need a Toastmaster. But would anybody, first of all, like to be the Toastmaster? And Mike, your hand is up. So put your hand down. So I said Toastmaster, and suddenly that hand went down fast. That was pretty cool. So am I seeing anybody here? Just go ahead and, by the way, just speak up here to volunteer for any of these roles. I'm not seeing anybody jumping on being Toastmaster. So after 3 weeks.
I could be the Toastmaster, or I can do a speech.
Who was that?
Valerie,
Oh, Valerie, would you like to be a Toastmaster?
I can do that.
Okay, great. Valerie, be a Toastmaster. I've already picked the theme for you, unfortunately, Valerie. So of community, though, I'm sure that's one that you can relate to. Zoom Master, Timer, Grammarian, any interest, or an odd counter? Any interest in any of these?
I'll do tip of the day if that's okay.
Who's that?
Melissa Dominguez.
Oh, Melissa's going to do tip of the day. You got it. Melissa.
Zoom Master.
Which one?
Zoom Master.
Is that India?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
I'd like to be the odd counter.
Oh.
Who?
I'm sorry.
Who said something?
This is LaDonna Hightower.
Yep.
I'd like to be the odd counter.
Very good, LaDonna. And Mary, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I'll be the grammarian.
Okay, Mary is grammarian.
I'm down. There we are.
There we go. I will be speaker number 3. No, I'll sign up as speaker number 2.
I can be speaker number 2, Daniel, if you need a speaker.
Okay. Dennis is going to be a speaker. And we'll see how we do is anybody interested in being a evaluator? Now, evaluators is not as tough as you guys say, and it's really important. You guys may
I'll be an evaluator.
Great, thank you very much. You may remember I did a speech about what? Who said that? Who's going to be an evaluator? I'm hearing somebody. Either you're speaking up or you need to be muted.
Patricia would like to be evaluator number 2.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you very much. This is great. We're getting these roles filled early. A general evaluator. I can double up if we have to.
Yeah, I can double up too, I think.
What are you? You are
the grammarian.
Grammarian. You could do both if you want. I know you like it. You're learning general. You want to do general evaluator?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Mary. All right. We've got a good little group here. We still will need a timer. But we also have some people you noticed aren't here today. So maybe they will get volunteered. I am going to try to see if we can get, I hate sending that email out on Monday of the week of this. By the way, Monday, it won't be Monday, it'll be Tuesday because Monday's a holiday. And so I'm going to go ahead and save this agenda as it is right now.
Daniel.
Yes.
This is Bernice. I can either do speaker number 3 if it wasn't taken, or something else that you need.
Great, Bernice, you got it. And you still have an icebreaker, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So,
Daniel,
yeah.
This is Vern.
Yep.
The speech that I'm doing as speaker number 1 is part of my pathway. And I believe since you are VPE, you're going to need my evaluator.
I don't need to be your evaluator. We just make sure that your evaluator, Mike, fills out a form for you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll just make sure he has that. Excellent.
And tip of the day today?
Tip of the day, we have for this particular date, but we still have Dear Notary Masters.
I believe Mary just did the Dear Notary Masters.
Well, for today, we did tip of the morning. I did earlier. I just told everybody to educate.
Okay.
So we'll have that in the future. We're going to be breaking away here in a minute, so we can talk all we want and give us all your tips. We all want them for sure. I don't have a role yet. This is great. What can I do? I don't really want to be timer because I forget about the time because I'm listening to you. I will be table topics. And that's a pretty good agenda right there, guys. I'm going to save this. How many
You
times?
still have, Cherie's hand was up.
Oh, Sherry?
Sherry?
Yeah. Sherry, did you want to be a timer? Or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great, Sherry. Oh, look at this. And we still need a third evaluator. And we need a Dear Notary Masters, and that's a full agenda. Look at that. This is going to be fun. And we
I'll
have
do
three.
the evaluator.
Who is this?
Pam.
Pam. Very good. Dear Notary Masters is all there. All right, we'll hold that one open. Excellent. I'm going to save this agenda. You guys are doing, this is so awesome. We filled this up. And I will just say, thank you very much, everybody. And I want to especially thank Jim for being a great Toastmaster for us again. Lori, my good friend, she and I have actually, this is the second, well, she's been involved with, she and I chartered a club together last year, and Lori is about to become our district director. And Eldred, I know all three of you guys are working today. So you guys took time out of your busy day to usher us in today. Eldred, I thank you for your leadership as our director, and not just here, but the last board meeting I was on was something out of the Gong Show, and Eldred kept a nice cool head throughout the whole thing. And all I could think of was, God, I'm glad I'm not Eldred today. So your leadership has been appreciated, and I have no idea what Lori was thinking when she agreed to succeed you. But needless to say, she will do a good job, and we will be here to support you as you are here to support us. So I thank you all, and I turn the meeting back over to Dennis. And Jim, thank you again for being a rock star Toastmaster. Mr. President.
Thank you, Daniel. And from my perspective, Eldridge, Jim, Lori, thank you. It was great to meet you, at least via Zoom. So appreciate that, and hopefully we're be in contact with one another again. Is there any member that would like to make a final comment? Any member who wants to make a final comment?
Or guest.
Or guest. If you're a guest and would like to chime in, we'd love to hear from you. No? All right. Well, with that, then I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting for today. And everybody can meet in the lobby, hang around. You want to chat? We have a question you want to ask sort of off camera, then please do stay around and meet with us and ask. Thank you all.